Welcome to English with Abby and Tori. I'm Abby, and welcome back to our course, our 10-day course called Level Up Your English, all about taking your English to the next level. This is an intermediate course for those around the B1 level in order to make their English better. And if you have not, you can go back to our first two videos to watch about pronunciation and also about grammar skills to help improve your English. Today, we are going to talk about training your ears, how to listen and understand fast English conversations. If you have ever struggled to understand native speakers when they speak quickly, this video is for you. It will give you tips on how to train your ears, on how to practice listening and being able to understand fast English conversations. There are 6 different things we will talk about in this video, and we will start with listening for gist versus listening for detail. And then we will talk about reduced forms and contractions and how to understand them and what they are. And then we'll talk about the shadowing technique and then using context clues to understand words, phrases, sentences. And then active versus passive listening. And finally, listening to different accents. We will talk about that. So these are our 6 tips for understanding fast English conversations. The first tip or the first way to help understand fast English conversations is to practice listening for gist versus listening for detail. So these are 2 different ways we listen in conversation. Gist means that you listen and you just get the general idea of a conversation. In English, at least in American English, one phrase we'll use a lot, we'll say, oh, I got the gist of it. Oh, I get the gist. That means that I understand the general idea of what you're trying to say. I might not get all the specific information, but I get the general idea of what you're trying to say. And so when you listen for the gist of a conversation, it means you listen for the general idea. What is the overarching or the overall main idea of what they are talking about? And you may not get those important little details, but you understand the overall message of what they are saying. The next is detail, listening for detail. When you listen for detail, you listen for specific information that they are talking about, which could be things like dates, numbers, those important pieces of information. But it could also be really specific words that you don't know or don't understand. Because when you understand the general idea of a conversation, or when you understand the gist of it, you can skip over words you don't know. But when you listen for detail and you listen for specific information, then you hear those words you don't know and you have to pull them out and you can translate them or you can figure out what they mean. And you can do this by practicing listening to audio clips. You can practice watching videos, anything where you can listen to the English language being spoken quickly. So watching movies in English, if you watch short videos in English, and you listen to normal, fast English conversations, then you can listen for gist versus listening for detail. You can practice both. The second tip to better understanding fast English conversations is recognizing reduced forms and contractions. These are things that native English speakers use all the time when we are speaking. The reduced forms are when 2 words, or a couple words in this case, are combined together that make one word. And so it sounds different. It sounds like one word. There are some sounds missing, and these are used a lot in fast English conversation. And if you watch our previous video from day 2, you can learn more about this and more about pronouncing these correctly and why English speakers pronounce words this way. So we have words like wanna, gonna, gotta, lemme, and dunno. Wanna is want to put together. I want to go to the store. I want to go to the store. You don't hear the t in that word. The t gets taken out and combined together. It is just wanna. I want to go to the store. Or again, in this example, it is also go to. I'm gonna go to the store. And this is actually going to. I'm going to go to the store. I'm gonna go to the store. Because it's too much to say, I'm going to go to the store. It feels repetitive. And so instead you say gonna. I'm gonna go to the store instead of going to go. And gotta, oh, I got to, instead of saying got to, we say gotta, oh, I gotta leave now. I got to leave now. I gotta leave now. And here you do hear the T, of course, from got to, I gotta leave now, but it just gets combined together. And then this one, lemme, is let me, combined together into one sound, lemme. Let me know when you want me to come over. Let me know when you want me to come over. When you're writing, we do not write this way, but we speak this way. The final one is dunno. This is I don't know. I don't know, or I do not know. This is what this one means. I don't know. We say, oh, I don't know. And it just all gets combined together. I don't know. And so then we also have contractions to understand, to know when contractions are being used and what they mean as well. Always listening for contractions like can't, won't, aren't, shouldn't, let's. So listening for all these contractions that native English speakers use in everyday conversation. Oh, I can't come tomorrow because I have to work. Or we aren't coming tomorrow because we have to go to school. And so listening and knowing when these contractions are being used and what they mean as well. And a good way to practice this is, again, by listening to English conversation. And so you're hearing them, and then when you hear them, repeat them in a sentence. And so when you hear them in a sentence, then repeat them back in a sentence. The third and helpful tip to help you understand fast English conversations better is by using the shadowing technique. It's very simple. You listen to a sentence, pause, and repeat exactly as you heard it. So you listen to a sentence, pause, and repeat exactly as you heard it. This means that you use any of the reduced forms or contractions that you heard in the sentence. If the person said wanna or gonna or dunno, you repeat that exactly as you heard it. And this will help you better understand what the person was saying in the sentence. And this will, again, improve speaking and listening fluency. And so you're practicing speaking and listening at the same time while you listen and then repeat exactly as you heard it. Next, in order to practice understanding fast English conversations, practice using context clues from the conversation. And it may seem simple, but it's very important to practice. And this is because you probably won't understand every single word the person is saying, and that's okay. But practice listening for the key words that you do understand. Practice understanding the tone of the conversation and the situation it is happening in. So when you focus on tone, you focus on the way the person's voice sounds. Do they sound excited? Do they sound sad or happy or mad or angry? How do they sound when they are speaking? That can help you understand better what they are talking about. And then, of course, key words that you do understand, the most important words that they are saying. And then think about the situation that's happening, that you are in, or that they are talking about, and that will help you better understand. The fifth tip is thinking about active versus passive listening. Active versus passive listening. And you want to do both. Both are very important in order for you to better understand English conversations. Active listening means you are actively participating in the conversation. You are talking to another person, you are taking notes, you are responding, you're asking questions, you're answering questions that they ask you. You're actively participating in the conversation that's happening. You're actively participating in what you are listening to. Passive listenings means you're just listening to something and maybe even not fully paying attention, but you're not interacting with it. All you're doing is listening. So this could be with podcasts or videos or the radio or even music. And when you passively listen, you just play it and you don't interact with it. You wouldn't take notes, you don't respond or answer questions. And both of these are very important to better understand fast English conversations. And then the final tip, number 6, is to listen to different English accents. This is important to get a better feel of what English sounds like all over the world. And so some native English speaker accents like American, I have an American accent, or British or Australian or South African, and those would help you just get a better understanding of English as a whole. So maybe don't just stick to one accent, but try listening to a variety of English accents as well. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it was helpful in you better understanding fast English conversations. There is a worksheet attached in the description that you can do to help you practice these tips, to help you practice getting better at understanding fast English conversations.